Now, one other thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin, is Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden rally in 1939. I write about this in my book. President Franklin Roosevelt was appalled that neo-Nazis, fascists in America were lining up to essentially pledge their support for the kind of government that they were seeing in Germany. So I don't think we can ignore it.
So ladies and gentlemen, Hillary Clinton is saying that the rally of Trump is going to be a special party.
Don't get me wrong. And, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating the pets up there. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
And they're going wild with this clip. Everybody is talking about this is very racist. Oh my God. Because the joke is very bad. I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying, but then again, it's Tony. He makes gangster jokes. He's trying to be edgy. He's trying to prove a point about censorship. But nobody cares about the other clips? Oh, they don't promote those? Let me show you. And let's see if it's really a special rally.
The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Oh, okay. Hillary Clinton said that this is a Nazi rally here today. Can you believe that? For the most anti-war president of my entire lifetime. And she calls him Hitler. Let me remind you, Hillary, it was your husband who shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't. I mean, it's just obvious to me who the right candidate is. There's a guy out here dodging bullets. It is unbelievable, right?
That's it. It's Tony Hinchcliffe. He likes to make edgy jokes. I prefer that than Kamala Harris had Megan Stallion come on a stage for abortion, right? Because it's like, I don't know, it's way more offensive. I prefer an honest idiot asshole that I might not like. There's some disingenuous nice person that tells me I really like you, but we need to vote for this person before I can start liking you in public.
Our message to black Americans tonight is this. We want you, what we want for every American. Safe neighborhoods, good jobs, clean streets. A country where you are judged based on the content of your character, not the color of your skin or your political beliefs. That's the America we know. Our message to gay Americans tonight is this. You're free to marry who you want, if you want, without the government standing in your way. But that doesn't mean that boys get to compete with girls in girls' sports, or you do genital mutilation and chemical castration on our children. Our message to every legal immigrant in this country is this. You're like my parents. But our message to every illegal immigrant, if you came legally, you get the same American dream that everybody else does. Work hard, get ahead, make contributions to this country, love the nation, and that's our message to legal immigrants. But our message to every illegal immigrant is also this. We will return you to your country of origin. Not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America is founded on the rule of law. Our message to my generation, the millennials, is this. You were sold a false bill of goods. You were told you become a gender studies major in California. Somehow that gets you a head start on the American dream when it hasn't worked out that way. Dead on your shoulders. The Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Yes, it's true you were lied to. But we can't just be cynical about our country because this is still the last best hope that we have in the free world. And our message to Gen Z is this. You're going to be the generation that saves the country. You want to be a rebel? 18 years old? Stand up on your college campus and call yourself a conservative. Be proud of it. Say you want to get married, have kids. raise a family, and have a good job. That's how we win in America. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We are still on our way up. We're still that country where we will look our children in the eye and mean it when we tell them, you get ahead in the United States with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what? You are free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what we are running to. And that is what we get when we send Donald Trump back to the White House this November. Thank you. God bless you and the great state of New York. And may God bless our United States of America. Thank you. God bless.
In all honesty, is Hillary right? I mean, the only thing I keep hearing is focusing on the people they care about, and I don't think they really care about people like that. I think they care more about the people on the outside because they found everything on the outside way better than the inside.
Now, this choice that we have before us is very personal to me. I'm a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve. I've served now for over 21 years.
If I have to be honest, I like it when somebody can advocate for something when they actually participated in that thing. I never like when a politician says, hey man, I'm going to do this with this war, when they've never been in war, because they don't understand the mathematics on how this is going to be handled, and they don't even understand the people that they're going to send over there.
I've deployed to different war zones 3 times over that period, and I've seen the cost of war. For my brothers and sisters who paid the ultimate price, I carry their memories and their sacrifice in my heart every day. So this choice that we have before us as Americans is critical. It's important to us. It's important to those of us who serve, who have volunteered to put our lives on the line for the safety, security, and freedom of our country and our people, and it's critical to all of us. Here is the choice that we have. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Dick Cheney, and it's a vote for war, more war, likely World War III and nuclear war. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them, and who has demonstrated already that he has the courage and strength to stand up and fight for peace. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for open borders, where known violent criminals and Islamist terrorists are streaming across our borders, placing us at risk. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for secure borders and safe communities, and a confidence that he will seek out those who seek to do us harm and get them out. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for economic hardship, high cost of living, poverty, and homelessness. And a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for economic prosperity and opportunity for every single one of us as Americans. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for censorship and a complete erosion of our fundamental and constitutional rights and freedoms. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for someone who will defend freedom and every one of our God-given rights that are enshrined in the Constitution and Bill of Rights. So the choice is ours. History will look back on us at this moment for the choice that we make.
I'm even more surprised somebody can label this lady as somebody that is like super bad. This person was on your side. You started so many wars and she went to war and she was like, you have no idea what you're advocating for. I'm going to go with a guy that doesn't want to start the war. A guy that actually cares about safety for their citizen. How can you say you love your citizen and that makes you a bad person?
A lot of people ask me why I left the Democratic Party. And I say, I don't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me.
In all honesty, there's so many people that left you. I left you. I was the Democrat guy that was advocating for abortion back in the day. Guess what? You went so wild. I was like, hey man, I'm just gonna be a centrist. Right-winger! Okay, you definitely made me a centrist now.
This is not the party anymore of Martin Luther King, of Robert Kennedy, of John Kennedy. That was the party of peace. It was the party of constitutional rights, of civil rights, of freedom of speech. It was the party that wanted to protect and nurture the middle class. It was the party that stood up to censorship, to surveillance, stood up to the CIA, to the military-industrial complex, and it was the party that wanted to protect public health and women's sports. My uncle, Ted Kennedy, wrote Title IX, which protected women's sports in college.
If you really think about it, like all the things that are done right now that supposedly they're not defending anymore was done by the previous Democratic Party. Imagine if you have the power to travel back in time and be like, hey, do you remember you gave women the right to go to sport? Well, I'm not even making a joke. The difference between the party now and 20 years ago is so different at a radical level.
And that the Harris campaign is very proud that it received the endorsement of 50 former CIA agents and officers, and of John Bolton, and of Dick Cheney. These are the people that gave us the war in Iraq.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Dick Cheney is a special person. He's the Republican that joins Kamala Harris, but hey, he likes war because he was the guy of weapon of mass destruction, joining the Democratic Party that generally have a bunch of war until Trump came. So if anybody tells you, hey, we got a Republican on our side, yeah, a Republican that actually wants more war just like you. So, I don't know. I don't think you're sending the right message.
These are the people that gave us the Patriot Act, that launched the surveillance state. These are the people that are trying to undermine voting rights in this country by weaponizing the federal agencies against political candidates, including me and Donald Trump and all other political candidates that can't win an election. And instead of bringing in a candidate who wins the primaries, abolish the primaries, and then pick two candidates, anointed them without receiving votes. We don't even know how Kamala Harris received the nomination.
I mean, officially, both parties can choose whoever they want. But they chose the person that is more famous because they have the right policies. And they're like, hey, a lot of people like you, we're going to choose you. That didn't happen on Kamala's side.
President Trump called me 3 hours after his shooting. And he said, would I come and sit down with them? And he said to me during that meeting, he said, there are some things that we can agree on and some we disagree on, but the landscapes on which we agree are so much larger. He said, I want to end the wars.
I think that is the best message that Trump has ever said. I want people to stop dying. I need to find a solution. And the only reason that I disagree is because he doesn't like oil. He doesn't like liquid money, which I can understand. And the fact that he can say, I can disagree, but on a broad spectrum, there's a lot of things I agree. I think that's a good candidate. And the choices that he has, like Vivek, Tosi, and him, I'm like, woo, that's gangsta. Oh yeah, don't forget Elon Musk. He wants to manage the money, just like he managed Twitter, 80% fired, still working.
Don't you think that we deserve a president in this country who's going to restore the moral authority of the United States of America? Don't you think that we deserve a president who's going to end the warfare state and rebuild the middle class?
I think it's even more important because right now they're destroying the middle class at such a way that it actually benefits you more to be poor than a middle class in a lot of Western country right now.
When he goes to McDonald's and serves fries, like, he's not faking that at all. That's why that worked. Democratic media consultants like, how is that working? Because it's real.
I'm not surprised they don't understand it because most of the time to get a vote, they give these people something for free at expense from somebody else. That's the big difference.
They have no skills whatsoever. They've got 3/4 of the money and they didn't earn it. They set up a system precisely for the purpose of awarding themselves wealth and power when it's undeserved. You look at Liz Cheney and you ask yourself honestly, what skill could she possibly have that allowed her to send hundreds of thousands of people to their deaths? Did she earn that? I don't think she did. No fair system would make Liz Cheney powerful. No fair system would make Larry Fink rich. No fair system would elevate someone like Kamala Harris to a presidential nomination. She's never been accused of doing anything useful. She has precisely no achievements. She's a nominee without getting a single vote. She is a metaphor for the system they created to make themselves rich and powerful, and then they have the gall to lecture you, the people who can actually change a flat tire and repair a power grid, who have useful jobs, who pay your taxes and work 40 hours a week, lecture you that you are somehow immoral. I
mean, he's on point. The fact that anybody that says on the CNN panel, well, officially we didn't really choose her, she was suddenly there, everyone's like, what did you say? It's not fair.
This is the second time the Democratic Party has circumvented democracy and chose.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
True.
Hillary Clinton was chosen, and she had Bruce Springsteen too. And what happened to her? And now we've chosen.
Kevin, Hillary Clinton won a primary. Okay? She won a primary. You may not
Nobody
like
could
that
compete
how
with
the
her, even
primary-
Bernie Sanders.
She won a primary.
Okay.
First of all, that's the first
So
thing.
did Kamala
The second thing,
Harris
we've
win a
talked-
primary?
Listen, we've talked about this before.
What's wrong
How
about talking
hard-
about it tonight after what you just saw?
I'm
Do you think that's really
I'm
what
talking
matters
to
to
you about it
voters?
right now.
Your
How
whole shtick is-
many Democrats wish?
Your
Hold on.
whole shtick has
Hang
been,
on a second.
let's talk about what matters to voters. Do you really think voters care about the internecine primary process?
Yes. What are you talking about? How can you say, do people really care who is chosen? You choose it for me.
If you're a Democrat, you sure as hell care today.
I know that you are from Canada,
Ooh, shaming.
but the primary process.
That's why I'm
the primary
perfect for
process
this.
in this
I have no
country
skin in the game
is
other
not
than
in
to
the
get a great
Constitution.
president.
It's not in the Constitution. The political parties can choose however they want to choose their nominee.
Right.
And as long as they meet the legal deadlines in the states where they are on the ballot, they can do it however they want.
So they can choose whatever they want without the votes of the citizen. Thank you for confirming that.
And that's what's going on. Now, let me tell you what the critics are going to say when they hear me talking about this. They're going to say, well, now, wait a minute. Come on. Isn't Trump a bully? And let me tell you why the answer to that question is no. Because to be a bully, there has to be an imbalance of power. And when there's not, it's just called a debate. And he's just better at it than anybody else. And the same thing is true. When the Democrats or Harris call him fascist, Hitler, racist, misogynist, or a crook, is that bullying? Well, not really. It's ugly. But with the First Amendment, which we all want to keep, there's no imbalance of power, so it's not bullying.
I mean, that is a very good point. But I also think the difference is if somebody really believes one of these messages a lot, they might go pew 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 because Hitler is a very bad name calling.
When she was asked what she would do differently compared to Joe Biden, she said, nothing comes to mind. She's running on how she's going to be different, but she couldn't name a single thing that she would do differently than Joe Biden. Now, I will say that could be the Kamala Harris official campaign slogan. Kamala Harris, nothing comes to mind.
If you're talking about yourself, I can understand that. But if you're talking about your family or your city or your town or your country, that is a wild statement.
I don't see no stinking Nazis in here.
I mean, Hillary does. I mean, at least she predicted it.
You're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
All right, I've only got one question for you, and then I'm getting out of here because this is your stage. But we set up Doge.
Yes.
How much do you think we can rip out of this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris-Biden budget?
Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion.
Yeah!
Yes.
$2 trillion.
In all honesty, if somebody says you're wasting money, I'm going to fire 80% of the people working there and still make the company successful, maybe they know something that I don't. Maybe we're making people feel good about things when there actually sucks about it, but to make them feel good, we're wasting money. I would like that person in the government.
We got to get the senators elected because we can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
I don't like secret plan if I have to be honest, but I'm sorry, Kamala. Just like CNN admitted, the party chooses you, not the people. That's like me saying, hey algorithm, put that like button up. I don't need my subscribers' vote. It doesn't send the right message if they really like me or not.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Durlo que ta verdetta welcome.